Hi everyone, welcome back. Nicole here with Edge of Wild, and I'm going to take you on a long overdue garden tour. I think last year I started garden tours in like middle of May. It's now the middle of June. So I'm behind on that. I mean, the garden is farther ahead, so like I'm kind of sad I haven't captured it, but like it's been a whole thing to get it in and just the amount of time I've been taking to do that. I'm going to pause while my husband moves the lift around. Alright, changed my mind. He's been running the lift for over 5 minutes. I don't think he's stopping anytime soon. He needs to do that project, so I'm just going to try to talk over it. I apologize. Anyways, I live up here in upstate New York. Zone 4, 3B, kind of depends on the winter. Usually more around a 4 for the most part at this point. Quite a bit of snowfall, quite a bit of rainfall. We're not usually overly lacking unless it's been like a really dry summer or dry winter. I would say right now we're adequately happy. Everything's been doing relatively good. Got a decent plan to attack the thrips early this year to hopefully stay ahead of them between beneficial nematodes and Captain Jack's dead bug. So let me show you what we have going in the garden. There's still some empty spaces, still some spaces to clean up. Pretty sure I planted less this year, which don't know how, but here we are. Alright, so I have caladiums that have self-seeded here. Yet again, I chose to just let them be. They're a much smaller patch than they were in the past. I have a bunch of volunteer sunflowers. I have no idea if they're like the multi-branching sunflowers, which I think they are, or if they're pro-cuts. They shouldn't be pro-cuts, but I think they're the multi-branching. But we're going to find out because I haven't really pulled any of them out. I have a rogue dill plant up here that I let go because why not? That is, okay, so I had Bells of Ireland here like 2 years ago. I had 1 or 2 self-seed last year. And I had 1 self-seed again this year, so I left that when I weeded everything out of here the other day. My last succession of sunflowers are going to go in here next weekend. I just planted a succession of sunflowers under here, and yes, there's like 10 of the volunteer sunflowers under there. I have to cover them when I plant them because the birds, right as they sprout, will pluck them all out of the ground and take the seedling with it, so didn't want to lose them to that. These are sunflowers that have started to come up. This succession doesn't look too terrible. However, the first succession looks hideous. Ugh. I'm so disappointed. They just didn't even look like they came out of the ground well. I honestly think it's bugs. I mean, look how ate up and beat up the poor things are. I don't know what's doing it. I'm telling you, it's these little white flies. I don't know what it is. I can't see anything. I can't get anything to fall off. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But when I treated them with the dead bug brew, that seemed to help quite a bit. Diatomaceous earth seems to help quite a bit. So pretty much once I notice them come up, I kind of just start powdering them with diatomaceous earth as long as it's dry. I fertilized everything tonight, so I'm not going to do that tonight. I very well might do that tomorrow night. More volunteers. And the last of those. Then here, I'm pretty sure it's cucumbers that I planted here. And I had 3 or 4 come up. And these are the only ones still left from the original because something ate off the tops, which really annoys me. I see a new one coming up. See that little tiny piece of green right there? Right there. That's a new one coming up. So hopefully that one survives. On the inside of the trellis, I have cosmos. Then I have my basil over here. I think this is mostly all my cinnamon basil. And these were beautiful starts when I put them out. Look how chewed up they are. So annoying, but hopefully the pest problem is under control. These are the sun drops. I think that's a baby one right there. So cute. Then more volunteer sunflowers. I have these stakes in here. I painted them black this year. Most of them so far. Love them black. They just blend in a lot better. But these are so I can put string to help make like a support system. Kind of like a grid for some of them. Or a corral system for a lot of stuff. This is my celosia. I have the Sunday pink, I have a mix, and then I have the Sunday orange over there. The Sunday pink look like they've been like nibbled on hard. Bugs, I tell ya, the bane of my existence. I have a handful, like literally 8 or 9 asters here. These are all my phlox, my annual phlox, which I need to pinch because we want them to bush out. So we pinch off these first buds. Yeah, I have a whole little collection here. Less than what I wanted because bugs, but they're doing pretty good for the most part. So happy about that. This is the stock that a friend gave me. And stock is interesting because, like, I swear it all starts to flower like wicked flat, and then all of a sudden it elongates. I don't know, it's weird, it's a whole thing, but they smell delicious. Other problem is I don't really have anything else blooming right now to go with the stock, so right now it's just something pretty for me to look at, but it is gorgeous. Then I have my snapdragons, which that's been a whole thing. I did end up restarting some extra seeds, separating them out, filling in holes. I have some that are like sending up beautiful bloom stalks, some that look so-so. I need to weed terribly. This one has some kind of pest going after it. I assume, dangerous to assume, but I think it's thrips that have gone after that. I don't know. I squished a beetle on it earlier, but I have no real clue. I think it's thrips. I think it's the start of the war on thrips. We shall see. None of the other ones I have noticed have that yet. So they're all looking really good. I made like cat's cradle in here out of string to hopefully hold them up so they don't fall over like this one's falling over. This one belongs way over there, and it's all the way over here. So, anyways, hoping this will help hold them straighter. Look at the white one, it's so pretty. So pretty. Then, around here, I have my tomatoes. I have some baby cherry tomatoes. I believe these are my sun peach. And then I have the the super sweet tomatoes. And then I have no idea what order my large tomatoes are in, but they are here. I'm pretty sure these are San Marzanos, just based on the shape. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. I've cleaned out the armpits on most of them. Need to come in and tie them up. For the most part, they're all still on the correct side of the trellis, so they're kind of being supported, which is great. Then, spin around slowly. I have my gladiolus in here. So I just did my last planting all the way at the far end there where it's like empty. Then I have one from 2 weeks ago. And then this is 3 weeks ago. And then turn. And these are my onions. So they're looking pretty good. I just weeded those out yesterday. Friday and yesterday. It was like thick with grass. You could like barely tell where the onions were. But all cleaned out. Looks good. Fertilized. Fingers crossed for a good onion year. Radishes. It has been a sad radish year. Because like this one's already getting ready to send up a bloom stalk. That one's sent up a bloom stalk already. Because we went from being like okay temperatures to really hot, and they don't like hot. They go to seed instantly. So I will have to try again maybe in the fall. My peas are looking good. They are putting on a whole bunch of pea pods and more flowers. So excited to harvest those pretty soon. Once I get all these radishes pulled out, I can't wait to weed in here. However, like weeding around the peas is difficult because the peas like to pull out way super easy. Well, we'll see. I had spinach here. That, of course, all went to seed the moment it got hot. So didn't get any spinach. Pulled it all out. I also have my status growing in here, which looks good. I have more peas over here. And I have beets. And, of course, whatever monster it is that attacks my beets attacked my beets. And I barely have any beets. But I have a small handful. So I'm hoping they get big enough so I can at least enjoy some. I do not know what it is that attacks them, but it bites them off at the roots. Just nips them right off. They fall over dead. Eats the root right out from underneath them. Drives me crazy. I'm sorry, Miss Finch. Am I in your garden? She's very mad with me. Here is the other end. The glads. These are ones that had all volunteered. Not really volunteered. Came back from last year in walkways and stuff. So I moved all them over here. I think they'll all make it. We'll see. Here's some more cucumbers. Again, these ones looked great. Then things ate them. They look like they're all bouncing back though. So fingers crossed. Here's my garlic. I think it's actually getting pretty close to being able to pull. I have some scapes here. My garlic scapes. I could pull those off, saute them up. They would be delicious. I have my 2 extra tomatoes. I think one's a super sweet, maybe? I think one's a super sweet. And then the other one is a mountain fresh out here in the garden. I have another mountain fresh in a pot by the house. This is Persian crust. And this is something that I started from seed. You can see that looks very so-so. I sprinkled in some basil in here, trying to fill in this hole, but I found a whole bunch of blue plurum. Say that, 10 times fast. That was starting. And I decided I didn't want to disrupt it. But it doesn't look like it's coming in very strong. So we'll see. This was blue plurum that I started inside and brought outside. Still looks kind of stunted. I don't know. Maybe I just need to sow it outside earlier and have faith in it. This is more basil. This is my lemon basil. Again, this all looked great and awesome and was really super full when I had planted it. There was seedlings all the way down here. It looked great. And then something came along and ate a whole bunch of it. Bugs. Really disliked the bugs. Over here is the rest of my status line. And this is why I say I need to have faith in blue perm. Look at this. Just volunteered here. Wasn't even planted over here last year. I just need to believe I can just plant it outside. These are Brussels sprouts. They're looking pretty good so far. No major, snails and slugs. But I haven't noticed too many cabbage worms, fingers crossed. So we'll see. These are straw flowers and a whole bunch of rogue potatoes. So, rogue potato, straw flower, rogue potato, rogue potato, rogue potato. If anything, I should get potatoes out of here. And then here, volunteer blue plurum. Again, why am I trying to grow this in the house? Beans. I planted yellow beans and green beans. Green beans for the second time, again, because something keeps eating them. I didn't even see them come up. I can't even find the seeds, so they had to have germinated. Don't know. We're going to try again, though. This is some volunteer yarrow, and what's the other one? It'll come to me. Rudbeckia. Volunteer Rudbeckia. And then this row, in all its glory, are the potatoes. They're looking wonderful. I just put in another layer of mulch, or well, straw, to help mulch them up. Just to help make sure I get the potatoes covered. I don't want any sunlight exposure. I did notice some of the Colorado potato bug on them when I sprayed. And then I have not noticed any as of late, and I've been looking, but watch, I'll find one suddenly watching this back somewhere that I didn't notice right now. But I haven't seen them. So maybe I got rid of them. Doubt it. These ones have been blooming. These are one of the Adirondacks. They might be the blue, it looks like. But yeah, looking good. Here is, it's either cantaloupe or kajari. I think it's kajari on this side. I think those are new seedlings that came up. I had to replant most of this one. Then I have Rudbeckia. Whole bunch of Rudbeckia. Then it turns into, is it pincushion flower? The Fama blue and the Fama white. So they're perennial. I don't expect much out of them this year. I just want them to get established. So this is kind of like my perennial row. Here is some sea holly. Also just kind of letting them get established this year. Some more yarrow. And then these are actually Rudbeckia that came back from last year. Look at how pretty. So I'm really excited to see this come back. I have a couple more that came back for the double. I think it's the Gloriosa variety. So wasn't totally expecting that, so I'm very excited about it. And then I have some more volunteer yarrow. And then my whole patch of yarrow, which is actually corralled this year. Fingers crossed. They stay upright. They are a little wonky already, but we'll see how harvesting in that goes. Might not be great, but got a couple different colors coming on. Here is Sweet Williams. I did a whole bunch more planting of that this year. My delphiniums that all came back from last year. They're looking glorious. And then this is all Indian Summer Rudbeckia that came back from last year. I planted in some new plants. I don't even think they're going to take off. I think they're going to be fully drowned out by the ones that came back from last year, which is okay. Then I have another rogue potato, a rogue poppy, a handful more of rogue potatoes, and then my zinnia row. So this is my first plantings of zinnias. They take up a little more than expected. I think I have about the same amount, slightly less for my second planting. They look pretty good at one half of the garden, and then for some reason, this half of the garden, they don't look so happy. And the more I go down the road to the end of them, the worse they get. Are you the problem? Ugh, bugs. Bugs, I tell you. The other half of the zinnias will go here. I do have a rogue poppy in here yet. This is my feverfew patch. I started some more feverfew. I think I'm gonna use it to fill in anywhere I have holes. This is either supposed to be Kajari melons or cantaloupe, and something one came up, and then it died right away, and then I haven't seen anything out of the second round of seed I planted here. I had this one rogue poppy, though. This is the Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. I just did one plant in here. There's two plants out in the flower beds. But I just did it on the end here. These are my lilies that perennialized from last year. And then my dahlias that are looking really, really, really good. I'm super happy with how they look. I do still have some rogue poppies in here. I think I sprinkled some poppy seed in here. These are the 2 dahlias that something keeps chewing on. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. If you know, let me know. Or let me know what to research you think it might be. More dahlias. Volunteer blue plurum again. Volunteer poppies. And then I did a whole bunch more basil down here. I have a whole bunch of volunteer poppies here. Look at how cool they are. And then I have a bunch of poppy seedlings down here because I sprinkled poppy seeds down here. Another volunteer blue plurum. Oh, we're starting to run out of light. And then there's summer squash. There's zucchini. There's acorn squash. I think are all the ones on the hills that I did. I have kale plant from last year that I'm letting go to seed so that I can harvest the seed. Rogue poppy. I think this is the butternut squash. I think. I'll know for sure later this season. Stay tuned to find out. These are carrots. Still loving the seed starting tape toilet paper carrot trick. Love it. Look at them. Look at them. Over here I have a whole bunch of volunteer dill. And I believe these ones are spaghetti squash. And then I have interplanted my kale, because I almost never use it till the end of the season, and my cabbage. And the dill has done what it's wanted. So this way I can harvest out my cabbage heads. And then I'll still have the kale already growing here. I have a sea of celery. They're looking pretty good. So excited to see those grow. And then another, I think 16 plants of Brussels sprouts. Look at the baby Brussels in there. So cute. Okay, and this is my sitting corner. It's not, there's nothing. I get to face the beautiful garden. Everything's looking pretty good this year, minus the bug damage, which I've been dealing with the bug damage for ever gardening, but it's been getting worse the last couple of years. I'm hoping to take it back without having to like spray a whole bunch of like chemicals and sticking to a more natural, I don't really like the word organic, but a more natural way of handling things. We'll see. Hopefully. I'm able to get food production out of it. It's the flower farming side that it's harder to get the best production out of. Although I felt like it like just like the gut flip from spraying the Captain Jackson here, even though it's like organic and naturally derived. I was afraid that like all my wildlife, like my birds, were gonna go away. But as you can hear, that finch is still mad at me. The bird has not gone away. I've seen birds here constantly still. We have a bunch of tree swallows that come up. They're really pretty to watch. So I think it's okay. I think everything will be okay. I'm happy with the garden overall. There's some weeding to do. The never-ending task. A little bit more planting to finish up. And then just fingers crossed for a really good season. So thank you for coming along, touring the garden with me. I will try to keep up on a weekly schedule now of walking around the garden, taking a look, showing you and future me when I look back to see what's gone well, what hasn't gone well, things to remember. Like maybe I need to plant more seeds in the winter, so winter me, make a plan to fill stuff up a little more because it's a little sparse. We'll see what August me says about that. Okay, I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.